A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Track 1. Marley was dead to begin with. There was no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been inclined myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. But the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and our unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country's done for. You will, therefore, permit me to repeat emphatically, Marley was as dead as a doornail. "I knew he was dead," said Scrooge. "Of course I did. How could it be otherwise? We were partners for I don't know how many years. I was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend, his sole mourner." Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name, however. The firm was known as Scrooge and Marley to the last. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, was Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Nobody ever stopped him in the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No man or woman ever once in all his life inquired the way to such and such a place of Scrooge. Yet what did Scrooge care? Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, upon a Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting-house. It was cold, bleak, biting, foggy weather. The city clocks had only just gone 3, but it was quite dark already. The door of Scrooge's counting-house was open, so he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who was in a dismal little cell beyond, copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. But he couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal-box in his own room, and as surely as the clerk came in with the shovel, the master predicted that they would have to part. Wherefore the clerk put on his comforter and tried to warm himself at the candle, in which effort, not being a man of a strong imagination, he decidedly failed. Scrooge's nephew came in the door. "A Merry Christmas, Uncle!" "Bah! Humbug!" "Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure." "I do. Out upon Merry Christmas! What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money, a time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? If I had my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart." "Uncle!" "Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way, and let me keep it in mine." "Keep it? But you don't keep it." "Let me leave it alone, then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you." "There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say Christmas among the rest, but I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time, when it has come round, as a good time, a forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and think of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?